Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Paye Chakeva.
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 Namashrestham manum api sachiputram atra swarupam Shri Rupam Tasyagrajam Urupurim Matarim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Aho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Guru Tamosmi. He Guru Jnanada Dina Bandho Swananda Data Karunaika Sindho Vrindavana Sita Avatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. He Dinabandho Karunaika Sindho Kuru Prasadam Mai Mandamude Laksha Parade Bahupapagade Tatpada Padme Sumatisha Krishne Naivo Payanti Apichutam Karastalesha Brahmayusha Kritam Udamuda Smaranta Yo antar bahistanabritam ashubham vidunvan Acharya Chaitya Pusha Swagatim Yadaki. Mataji, we will go to the... I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Sachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudeva, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into the dense myriad of sins, and therefore grace me with your mercy, so that my mind may be fixed on your lotus feet and on Krishna. O my Lord, Transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as Acharya, internally as a super soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens our darkened eyes and fills our heart with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and the master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru Vando Mui Savadhana Mate. Vando Mui Savadhana Mate. Vando Mui Savadhana Mate. Vando Mui Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava ki Jai. Jai Sri Rup Sri Sanam Bhakti Sri Gopal Bhadadas Raghunath Sadhva Swami ki Jai. Lama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaura Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopala Giri Govinda Ki Jai. Sri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Ki Jai. Madhuradam Ki Jai. Sri Navadip Mahapuram Ki Jai. Ganga Ki Jai.
He's getting it. Maybe the internet. What's the name? I'll show you. Yeah. Chapter 5. And cartels, thanks. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Which one is it? ISV temple, temple or temple hall?
Temple.
I was here last year.
For the temple?
Did it change?
Yeah, it changes often.
Acha. In San Francisco, there's a free Wi-Fi, right, for everyone?
Yeah.
The whole city?
Press cancel.
No.
And then click the temple.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna, everyone. I'd just like to introduce His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardhan Swami and welcome him to ISV over here. Hare Krishna. He was born in the Philippines and he joined the Krishna conscious movement in 1984 in Toronto, Canada, after finishing his studies, and then served in the Toronto Temple for about 13 years as a book distributor, temple secretary, and temple president. After he moved to Delhi, he served as the temple vice president. He was awarded sannyas on the last Ekadashi of Kartik in 2013 by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. He continues to travel all over the world, including the UAE, South Africa, Mauritius, Russia, North America, and the Philippines, as a sannyasi preaching the gospel of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission. He's currently serving as a zonal supervisor for the Philippines Yatra, assisting His Holiness Giridhari Swami, the GBC for that area, and he is mainly based in Vrindavan and was one of the co-presidents of the Krishna Balaram Mandir in ISKCON Vrindavan. So we're very happy to welcome His Holiness Janardhan Maharaj here today.
Hare Krishna. This year I'm going to Europe. First time from many, many years with Guru Maharaj. We went to London many years ago when the ISKCON Delhi, East of Kailash, still under construction. I moved to India in 2002. No, Vrindavan 2002, but Delhi 1997. So that means I've been in India for how many years now? 27 years. I still don't know how to speak Hindi. I want them to learn English instead of me learning Hindi. Very happy to have come here in ISKCON Silicon Valley. Came from Alachua, Florida. How many of you have been there? Alachua, Florida is the largest community devotees of ISKCON. There's about 2,000 devotees there. And very nice. I felt very welcome. The hospitality, amazing. Same here. Some places, I don't know. I guess it depends on the atmosphere. If there's a lot of kirtan going on or book distribution, then or prasadam distribution, then the atmosphere is very jovial. Some places, they're great, but yeah. So, we're going to be here for next few days until Tuesday. Then we'll move along towards Boise, Idaho. So we're happy. We met Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mataji in New York Ratha Yatra. Have you been to New York Ratha Yatra? Anybody here? It's one of the best, isn't it? So I'm going to speak today on the pastimes of Durvasa Muni and Ambarisa Maharaj. It's one of the shortest. I think this is the shortest chapter in the Bhagavatam. Yes? I think so. There's only 28 slokas. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janardhan Yashodanandana Vraja Janardhan Yashodanandana Vraja Janardhan Yamuna Tera Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Lalita Visakha Lalita Visakha Lalita Visakha Lalita Visakha. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gaurani Tai, Gaurani Tai, Gaurani Tai, Jaya Gaurani Tai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nita Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Go Hari Bo. Hidaygo Sitanath Premanande. Happy to see Vijay Prabhu. Hari Hari. Long time friend. Namaong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Gopal Krishna Goswami Tanamini Prabhupada Saityam Yapakasha Vitiracha Pracharan Kirvanshadu Bhagatpati Namo Namaha Namaong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanangana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurabhe Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajibam Sadvaitam Salvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavanisvari Visabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9. Let's see. Canto 9, I would say. Yes, liberation. The matter of liberation. Chapter 5, Durvasa Muni's life spared. I think this is the shortest chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Only 28 slokas. Is that correct, Vijay Prabhu? Yeah, 28. Like in Bhagavad Gita, which one is the shortest chapter? Yes. 12 and 15. Only 28 slokas. So we're reading from text 24. I asked Brajaras Prabhu to give me a verse and he chose this one. Yes. Gateta durbasasi so ambariso. It's not there? Okay. 9:5:24. Just now coming. Okay, I'll do it. Gateta durbasase so ambarisho. Okay, it's right there. You don't have smartphones? It's not a smartphone if you don't have the database there. Okay, please repeat. Gateta durbasasi so ambariso. Dvijo payogati vivitrang aharot. Riser bimokshang vyasanang cha bhiksha. Mene suviryang cha parano bhabhavam. Gateta durbasasi sombarisho. Dvipo jayogati vivitrang aharat. Hiser bimokshang vyasanang cha bhiksha. Mene swaviryang cha paranubhabham. Somebody else, Vijay Prabhu. Gateta durbasasi sombareso.
Mene svaviryam chaparanubhavam.
Go ahead.
द्विजोपयोगाति पवित्रमाहरत् ऋषेर्विमोक्षं व्यसनं च वीक्ष्य मेने स्ववीर्यं च परानुभावम्।
ऋषेर्विमोक्षं व्यसनं च वीक्ष्य मेने स्ववीर्यं च परानुभावम्।
गते तदुर्वाससिसो अम्बरीषो द्विजोपयोगाति पवित्रमहरत् ऋषेर्विमोक्षं व्यसनं च वीक्ष्य मेने स्ववीर्यं च परानुभावम्। गतेऽथ दुर्वाससि स अम्बरीषो द्विजोपयोगाति पवित्रमाहरत् ऋषेर्विमोक्षं व्यसनं च वीक्ष्य मेने स्ववीर्यं च परानुभावम्।
Gate on is written. Atha, then Durvasasi, the great mystic yogi Durvasa. Sa, he the king. Ambarisha, Maharaj Ambaris. Dvija Upayoga, most suitable for a pure Brahmana. Ati Pavitram, very pure food. Aharat, gave him to eat and he also ate. Rishe, of the great sage. Vimoksham, release. Pyasanam, from the great danger of being bound by the Sudarshan Chakra. Cha, and Viksha, seeing. Mene, consider. Savirjam, about his own power. Cha, also. Para Anubhavam, because of his pure devotions to the Supreme Lord.
Translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It's amazing, even the washroom has a speaker. I think this is the only temple in ISKCON. Makes you think of Krishna everywhere. Okay, so we read. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarish sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food. And then he himself also ate. When the king saw that the Brahmana Durvasa had been released from the great danger of being burned, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful. But he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord. Please repeat. After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarisa sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food. And then he himself also ate. When the king saw that the Brahmana Durvasa Muni had been released from the great danger of being burned, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful. But he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord. Purport. A devotee like Maharaj Ambarisa is certainly always busy in many activities. Of course, this material world is full of dangers that one has to meet. But a devotee, because of his full dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is never disturbed. The vivid example is Maharaj Ambarisa. He was the emperor of the entire world and had many duties to perform. And in the course of these duties, there were many disturbances created by persons like Durvasa Muni. But the king tolerated everything, patiently depending fully on the mercy of the Lord. The Lord, however, is situated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chahang hridi shanavishta. And he manages things as he desires. Thus, although Maharaj Ambarisa was faced with many disturbances, the Lord, being merciful to him, managed things so nicely that in the end, Durvasa Muni and Maharaj Ambarisa became great friends and parted cordially on the basis of Bhakti Yoga. After all, Durvasa Muni was convinced of the power of Bhakti Yoga, although he himself was a great mystic yogi. Therefore, as stated by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 47, Yoginang api sarvesang madgatenantaratmana Saravang bhajate yomang same yukta tamo mata. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Thus, it is a fact that a devotee is a topmost yogi, as proved in the dealings of Maharaj Ambarisa with Durvasa Muni. Gatita Durvasasi Sambarisho Dvijopayagati Pavitram Aharat Riser Bimokshang Vyasanang Cha Iksha Bhiksha Minesa Biryang Cha Paranubhavam. So after 1 year, Durvasa Muni has returned to Ambarisa Maharaj. Somehow, Durvasa Muni committed an offense unto the lotus feet of great personality Ambarisa Maharaj. He's the one who represented in the 9 processes of devotional service. He perfected this Atma Nivedanam. 7th canto, chapter 5, text 23 and 24. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was asked by his father, what have you learned in school? I'm sure some of you who are grihastas, you must have also asked your children when they were young, putting on your lap and smelling the head, kissing the head, and asked this question. So Hiranyakashipu asked this question because he went to Gurukul under the tutelage of Sanda and Amarka. And he said this. His reply was this. Sabanam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam padasevanam archanam bandhanam dasyan sakyam atmanivedanam. So atmanivedanam means giving up everything also. Or performing. All of this different. Giving up everything for Lord Krishna, but also at the same time performing these different activities. Is that correct, Bali Mardan Prabhu? So, Bali Maharaj, he was fasting. Who did Nirjal Ekadasi? Last Ekadasi? Jai. I was reading that in Atlanta. I gave a class in the evening. We read the glories of the story of Nirjal Ekadasi. Bhima is a voracious eater. So he was asking how only he can, if he can fast in one day, or how to nullify all the Ekadasis on that day without doing all the Ekadasis, because he cannot fast the whole Ekadasis, so only one day. And it says, even to hear the glories on that day, if you don't fast, Nirjal means no water, you can also get the result of doing Nirjal Ekadasi. So I told the devotees, that doesn't mean you don't fast, and you just hear, because you get the same result. So it was time to break the fast. Actually, Durvasa Muni came unannounced to the kingdom of Ambarisa Maharaj. So he says, I'll come back for some prasadam. So he went to take bath in the river, and it's about to break the fast now. Because if actually Dwadasi is more powerful than Ekadasi. Because if you don't break at the right time, then whatever you did previous day is nullified, is void. That's why usually when we fast, we will ask, what time is the breaking of the fast? Yeah, if you don't break in the right timing, then Hare Krishna. So at that time, Ambarisa Maharaj says, I have to break my fast. Drinking water is fasting and also not fasting at the same time. But if you do Nirjal, the best thing to do is have lemon water immediately. I've learned it in India. Not just you eat a lot of grains, otherwise you fall sick. There's one girl in Atlanta. She did fasting and she ate immediately some rice. So she gets sick. Now, when he broke the fast by drinking water, Ambarisa Maharaj, Durvasa Muni, because of his mystic power, is a yogi. Muni means yogi. Like Narada Muni, Angira Muni, Pulascha Muni, Vasishta Muni. So, he has this mystic power, Durvasa Muni. He understood that Ambarisa Maharaj took water. Why did he do this? Why he did not wait for me? So when he returned, he became so upset to Ambarisa Maharaj. And then Durvasa Muni, out of anger, he took one of his hair and he cast a demon to kill and harm Ambarisa Maharaj. Krishna or Krishna or something like that. So now immediately to save his devotee, the Sudarshan chakra was cast by the Supreme Lord. And this Sudarshan chakra, it says, this is the eye of Lord Krishna. It's like in Jagannath Puri, we have a flag on top of the temple dome. This is the eye of Lord Krishna, the one who creates and maintains everyone. Also, it says that the Sudarshan chakra is the expansion of Nrsimhadev. Every temples, whenever and wherever we establish temple, the Sudarshan chakra also will be installed for protection, because Lord Nrsimhadev is the deity, the Lord of protection. Also, it says that the effulgence coming from the sun, from the moon, also this is the reflection coming from the Sudarshan chakra. And we've heard also that yes, the effulgence coming from the sun is also coming from the Brahmajyoti. The effulgence coming from the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, now, he was in fear. He was in fear of his life. So he started to run away so that he will not get. You've heard that story also when the Rajasuya sacrifice of Yudhishthira Maharaj, because he thought that there's so much violence created by the war that was created by Duryodhana against the Pandavas. So he was afraid that some offenses were committed by having all these soldiers and kings killed. And the first person to be honored was introduced by many to be Lord Krishna. But Shishupal was very envious. And then immediately also the chakra was cast to kill. It's a weapon. In the spiritual world, the Narayan form of the Supreme Lord, having four-arm form of the Supreme Lord, two of them are for the devotees, Shankha and lotus flower. And for the demons, the club and the chakra. These are weapons of Lord Krishna to protect his devotees. So now, he was running here and there, fled as much as quickly as possible. He went even to the abodes of even the different demigods, even up to Brahmaloka. And he does not have any refuge except he entered the Vaikuntha planets to see Lord Narayan, begging for pardon, because the chakra belongs to Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan says, no, you have to go back. Go back and see. Beg forgiveness from Ambarisa Maharaj. See, when a devotee has been offended by a person, a devotee should not offend another devotee. A genuine devotee doesn't offend anyone. But because here is so proud, usually offenses occurred because of being proud or being envious. Envy means you have something that I don't have. Or you have something that I have, but you have something which is greater than what I have. And I don't want that. I want for me to have better than what you have. And therefore, I will do anything and everything to put you down. Being proud and envious, they are synonymous. A person who is proud is also envious. He doesn't want anyone to be equal with him or greater than him. And therefore, if you are equal with that person who is proud, he is also envious of you. He wants to be greater. So, envy is the source of being the fall down of a devotee. The whole world is envious of each other. The whole world. The materialists, they're envious of each other. How about the materialists? Are they envious of devotees? Yes or no? Of course. They will say, hey, how come you're always happy? Early in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to drink coffee or anything, and you're fully alive. Devotees are always bright-faced. Yeah, because of the austerities that we perform, the penances. So even in LA, Prabhupada gave class. The neighborhood, they'll be thinking, oh, how come they have so many cars? I only have one car. They'll say, oh, we're always happy, and we're always miserable. And then Prabhupada says, but when we invite them to come and join, that they will not do. Because of envy, being proud. Being proud of their money, position, opulence, and yes, prestige is there. So, we have to be careful of this. Durvasa Muni became like that because he thinks that he is superior. Superior to Ambarisa Maharaj. And how about this? Are the devotees also become envious of other devotees? Yes or no? Yes. Sometimes. Why? Why is that? There's what you call prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, a neophyte devotee. A neophyte devotee is like that. He only sees Krishna and himself. It's like a horse having, like blinds, both sides. You don't see what's going on here. You don't see. But if our eyes are open, part of here I can see. So a devotee is like that in neophyte stage. He comes to the temple and he will pray to Lord Krishna, a big, long shopping list. Put like maybe $10 in the hundi box and then ask for like $10,000 worth of return. No. Yeyatamam prapajyante tam stataiva bhajami aham. As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So sometimes the devotee could be also due to being neophyte. You say, hey, how come he's talking always about Krishna? How come he's always chanting the holy name? How come he's always reading books, Srila Prabhupada's books? But I'm a better devotee than him, even if I don't chant. Even if I don't read books. But I eat a lot of prasad, so maybe I'm greater than him. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so we have to be careful. Be careful. And if we see devotees like that, we should still be respectful. I remember our Guru Maharaj, he told me, always be respectful. At least they are trying. But you keep your distance and don't hear what they're talking or they're saying, criticizing others. If you hear other devotees criticizing others, blaspheming others, and you don't say anything, then you also become part of that aparad. It says that if you hear someone who's criticizing or blaspheming another devotees, then you try to defeat him through logic and argument. If you cannot do that, you cut his tongue. That is serious, isn't it? Or if you cannot do that, just walk away. And if there is a person or devotee who's habitual in that way, you just say, Prabhuji, Mataji, I really like your association. But if you talk about this, I'm sorry. I have to go. That's not an offense. So Durvasa Muni, he offended Ambarisa Maharaj. And when we offend the devotee, it is not that the devotee will be affected. Because a devotee, a genuine devotee, is beyond the bodily concept. So offense starts from the mind, then through the words, and then physical. Have you seen sometimes devotees fighting? I've seen it in Vrindavan, brahmacharis, And both of them, we tell them, okay, you offer obeisances with each other, right? From each other. When the devotee is being offended by another materialistic devotee or lesser advanced devotee, it is Lord Krishna who feels the pain. Because within the heart of the devotee, Krishna resides. Reciprocal. When the Lord, in the heart of the Lord Krishna, the devotees reside. Same. So, and if one is being blasphemed or criticized, a genuine devotee, he doesn't retaliate. But if you hear, then you can safeguard, you can protect that devotee. I've heard a story of our Guru Maharaj, the early days in India. There's one devotee who slapped him in the face. But Guru Maharaj didn't do anything. He did not retaliate. Because a devotee is focused. It's mentioned here in the purport. He's the topmost yogi. He is the topmost yogi. And because the devotee is always busy in serving the Supreme Lord, he doesn't have time to defend himself or anything if someone blaspheme or retaliate or give him any difficulties. And says here, of course, this material world is full of dangers that one has to meet, but a devotee, because of his full dependence on the Supreme Lord, is never disturbed. A devotee is like that. He's one-pointed attention, not many-branched. Ekaha kurunandana. This one-pointed attention just to serve the Lord, and the devotees then other things, whatever happens, even reversals. It says here, even there may be disturbances created by persons like Durvasa Muni. The king tolerated everything because he is fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So we should be like this also. In spiritual life, we should have spiritual heroes. Just like in the material world, they have a cricket hero. or basketball hero, or Bollywood hero. So we should also have spiritual heroes that we can follow in their footsteps, know their moods, know how they react to things that seemingly very, very difficult to comprehend. But when it comes to spiritual life, it's like that. Why is it that sometimes Krishna seemingly put us into difficulties? Like Queen Kunti and the 5 Pandavas, or Prahlad Maharaj, or Dhruva Maharaj, many, many. But if we are determined, if we are convinced, if we are having this full faith unto the Supreme Lord and to His pure devotees, then we'll be able to get through to it. We may be affected, but less, and understanding that everything that happens to me is for my own good, because Krishna, and this is for everyone as well, not just for all of us, but for everyone, even the materialist. Krishna will always think what is good for everyone. He will not think of ill of anyone. Where will be the parents? You think the parents will think ill of the children? No, of course not. It is out of madness only. Because sometimes we've heard some parents, they will harm their children. But Lord Krishna is not like that. So, Baldi or Ambarisa Maharaj, he is able to tolerate all of this. And Durvasa Muni, he went up to the spiritual world and asked for forgiveness, but no, he says, you go back to the person whom you have committed the offense. He says that even before, so Durvasa Muni, he understood his mistake. Durvasa Muni, this is good. A genuine devotee may commit mistakes. That is natural. As long as we have this material body, we still have these 4 defects. Tendency to commit mistakes, tendency to cheat, tendency to be in illusion, and our senses are imperfect. But if they understood that they made mistake, they will not want to repeat it again. We learn from our experience, so to speak. So Durvasa Muni understood, yes, I have to go back. I have to go back to see Ambarisa Maharaj. And he says that, again, the devotee, he doesn't take offenses. A genuine devotee. So even before Durvasa Muni returned to see Ambarisa Maharaj to ask for forgiveness, he's already been forgiven. That's amazing, isn't it? That kind of tolerance. You can measure your advancement in Krishna consciousness, how tolerant you are when it comes to this. Like Srila Prabhupada, how he tolerated all of us, how he tolerated the very first disciples. That verse, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahisnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. More tolerant than a tree. And out of humility, Prabhupada sacrificed also at the same time. He was cooking. Yeah, he was cooking himself. He was serving. And he was also the one who cleaned up. That's why one of the newcomers, he was wondering, Swamiji is cooking, Swamiji is serving, and then we all, after prasad, we all go left. So he was thinking, who was cleaning here? So he understood that it was Swamiji, Srila Prabhupada. Then he asked, can I help? So that's bhakti. Can I assist? He tolerated our being neophyte mentalities, being neophytes, being a beginner. The guru is like that also. The spiritual master, he tolerates the disciple, knowingly that, yes, if I let him make progress in Krishna consciousness, it's like fanning the spark and making it a big fire. Then ultimately he will come to pure bhakti. So, again, now, he came, Durvasa Muni, he came to see Ambarisa Maharaj. And he touched his lotus feet. Usually in India, if someone did something wrong, the best way how to appease the other person whom he did the mistake or the wrong doing is to offer obeisances immediately. I remember sometimes if I say, even some, if I say something and I felt, you can tell if you're making an offense, your heart becomes heavy. You're going to think immediately, oh no, I did a mistake. So immediately you don't let it pass 24 hours. Immediately ask for forgiveness. Otherwise, then ego will start to say, oh, maybe if I made mistake or not mistake. So that's why sometimes we say, please forgive me for any offenses, knowingly or unknowingly. But a genuine asking for forgiveness is not just by words. It has to be felt inside. And I felt relief after asking for forgiveness. What if the person doesn't want to forgive? What are you going to do? Huh? There are certain ways how to do this. You can ask a higher, devotee or more advanced or the same peers as the other devotee, and it can be like what he calls mediation or something like that. The person can do it. What? He says, no one accept. No way. No. There's another way how to do it. You send some prasadam. But not letting the other person know that you're the one who's sending the prasad. You send it through another devotee. You say, oh, some devotee send this to you. This, and then you keep going, maybe 2-3 times. Say, this devotee is very nice. Who's sending this? Who's sending this prasadam to me? Secret admirer or something? And then the other, yes, please tell me, who's sending this nice Mahaprasad, nice cake from Krishna Balaram Mandir? And then you say, oh yeah, this devotee is sending you this. Oh, really? See, he became lighter already without knowing who you are. And then you kept saying this, sending the prasad. Then eventually says, okay, Prabhu, I'll forgive you. So this is very difficult to do. And it says here though, although Maharaj Ambarisa was faced with many disturbances, the Lord, being merciful to him, managed things so nicely that in the end Durvasa Muni and Maharaj Ambarisa became great friends and parted cordially on the basis of Bhakti Yoga. Sometimes devotees who are having misunderstanding, they become the best of friends. This is very rare. This is very rare. You know, sometimes they're not be able to understand each other, or there is some, things that they have to reconcile. After being reconciled, the issue, then they become best friends. Because of Krishna being the center. So this is the power of bhakti. Durvasa Muni became convinced about the power of Bhakti Yoga. If one's heart will not melt by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, by following the process Prabhupada has given us, that means something is wrong in how we apply the process. Nothing is wrong with the process. Nothing is wrong with the chanting. Something is wrong with us. And now he realized that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. That even Lord Krishna can be purchased. Krishna, sometimes he put himself in a position seemingly subordinate than his devotees. And this is what Krishna wanted the most. This is what Krishna liked the most. When his devotees will treat him in this way, like Mother Yasoda, or Nanda Maharaj, or Radharani. Yeah, we were reading Nectar of Devotion, that the process of bhakti, after maturity, then it becomes love of God. Then love of God is greater than Krishna. Because bhakti is rarely achieved. Achieving Krishna is very rare. And only through bhakti. And through one's love towards Krishna, Krishna becomes attracted. This is the only means how we can attract Krishna. Even though Krishna is all attractive, that is the meaning of Krishna. Prabhupada says, if there's going to be a name for God, Krishna. That is the original name, meaning all attractive. But Krishna becomes conquered by his devotee. It's not the devotee is greater than Krishna. We cannot be. But the love of the devotee conquers Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he instructed us to follow in the footsteps of the Brajabasis, to follow in the footsteps of our Guru Maharaj, to follow in the footsteps of great personalities, especially the Brajabasis. The mood that when even Prabhupada, he would be given the credit. He does not say, oh, no. It's not me. It is because of my Guru Maharaj. He always gives. That's why they are powerful. Like Srila Prabhupada and the predecessor Acharyas. They're very, very powerful. Because they don't take the credit. It's like our Guru Maharaj is so powerful. He contributed so much in the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada's movement. But he is never proud. He's never saying, I did this, I did that. Now we're just hearing. Even right now, after a month, almost a month and a half now, and we're still hearing the glories of Maharaj. We're still hearing many things that we've never heard before. So Ambarisa Maharaj is one of the... Is he one of the Mahajans? No, he's not. Bali Maharaj. Yeah, no, he's the emblem. He used his feet to go to the temple. He used his sense of smell and offering. Everything he did. Archanam, Bandhanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Hearing and chanting always. Especially the Padasevanam. Going to the temple. You know, worshipping Tulsi Devi also is Padasevanam. Why? Because we put Tulsi on the lotus feet of the Lord. Go to Ganga and swimming in Yamuna is also Padasevanam. Why? Because Lord Krishna, the Ganga flowed from the spiritual world after having pierced the coverings of the universe by Bhamanadev, by his toe. Or going on parikrama. In Vrindavan or Mathura or Jagannath Puri, Mayapur, this is also Padasevanam. Going to work is not Padasevanam. Even though you will say, oh Maharaj, I give some of my, salary to Krishna. Well, if you give a lot, maybe 50%, then we can tell it is Padasevanam. That is very high level. So in conclusion, a devotee is the topmost yogi, as proved in the dealings of Maharaj Ambarisa with Durvasa Muni. Yeah. He did not eat for 1 year. He was only drinking water. Well, this is going on. That's amazing, huh? Because he thought himself he's the one who committed the offense. A devotee is like this also. He's the one who thinks, oh, I think I'm the one who committed the mistake here. That's why I'm getting this reaction. Huh? This is genuine devotee. He never retaliates, and instead he will think that I'm the cause. Yes, I am the cause of what's happening to me right now. Sometimes a person will do harm you or give you a hard time. It says in the Bhagavatam actually that that person is your friend. Why? Because he made your karma lighter. He is not the cause. He is not the cause why I'm suffering. Why am I suffering? Because of me. It's like if we point out one finger to the person, there's like four fingers are pointing it to you. So I am the cause of everything that's happening to me. This is karma. But devotee is like that. He thinks that, oh yes, I could have suffered more, but Krishna is so merciful that he made my suffering lighter. Prabhupada says, oh, if you're cutting sabji, and somehow, you get a little cut here. Because of one's doing bhakti, he could have had if he's not doing bhakti, then his finger probably could have cut. So we should thank Lord Krishna every day, our spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, for giving us this opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. And somehow we should also follow in the footsteps of Ambarisa Maharaj. Very tolerant, very merciful, and see things according to Krishna's plan. Hare Krishna! Okay, stop here. Any question or comment? Yes. Bhakta Mike. He is the most important in Bhagavatam class.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the wonderful class. So I was just reflecting on a couple of points around the word tolerance, right, and how Durvas Muni basically does a lot of atrocities against Maharaj Ambarish, but he tolerates everything. Versus like looking at the Pandavas, for example, where they had also gone through a lot of suffering, but then they took revenge and they did the needful to teach Duryodhana a lesson. So how do we strike like a balance? Because when people are like, let's say, emotionally or like doing wrong things against us, and if we keep thinking it's our karma to suffer, and we don't teach them a lesson, then they're going to not only make us suffer, but also a lot of other people suffer.
The Pandavas is a different case because Lord Krishna interferes himself.
But how do we do what we do in our lives when people like come against us and they try to do a lot of injustice?
You pray for that person. If he's wrong, you pray for that person to have clear consciousness. The Pandavas, they were told by Lord Krishna himself to fight. You fight for me.
But is standing for ourselves like something wrong?
What's that again?
Is standing for our own selves and our own well-being?
For your own self, you don't usually you don't defend yourself. You fully depend on Krishna that this devotee may be able to understand what's going on. And others may see it, so they're the ones who will defend you. They're the ones who will correct the other devotee. For ourselves, you can cut me into pieces. You can criticize me as much as you like. I don't care. As long as my heart is clean, my consciousness is as much as Krishna consciousness, I don't care what you do to me. You can you can say whatever you like. I don't care. You know what's gonna happen? Hopefully that person will realize, because you're not getting affected. It takes a lot of courage here, humility, to not retaliate. The material is, road rage. They will shoot each other right there in the street. Yeah? This happening also in Noida, in Gurgaon, in Delhi. Everywhere in India is like that. They will break, they will break, they will have a bat, no, we're not like this. That's why you have to practice is Trinada pi sunichena. Krishna will not let his devotees to be harmed. No. If you're doing real bhakti, no one can touch you. Look at this. In the neophyte stage, you'll punch immediately the other person. You will curse him, counter-cursing. Look at Parikshit Maharaj. He was cursed by Brahman boy, Sringi, right? It says there that Parikshit Maharaj could have also counter-curse because he's very powerful. He saw Lord Krishna within the womb of his mother. So it takes a lot of humility, it takes a lot of Krishna consciousness. You don't worry. But we pray for that person. He does not, devotees others may do ill to them, may harm them, but he will never think that, yes, I'm going to get you someday. I hope that you have a car crash or something. No, he never think like that. He will always think of the welfare of that person. You understand? But it takes a lot of humility and to do that. It's not, if you're not humble like that, and you say, you're going to do anything and everything for that other person. Balimardan Prabhu?
Actually, I wanted to, the beginning, when we had the chanting, so I was in New Vrindavan, and there are a lot of devotees, proper disciples, and also second generation, and then kids, and some more. So when the speaker says, then, recite, then someone chanted. So Malati Prabhu at the end, he said, as a devotee, we should be thinking who is in the audience, only to give senior devotees to first recite this mantra. So that is very powerful, because generally sometimes we're excited, we see, if in this case at least you spoke, Bija Prabhu, to recite, I hope we should have also understood from our end that he is senior most, and he should be given first, and then other senior devotees is there, they should be, if they are silent, probably the second person can go. So this is likely Vaishnava etiquette, and Malati Prabhu gave very nicely corrected in the situation. So just wanted to bring my own reflection.
Yeah.
So just as you are maintaining about, the Vaishnava etiquette, so I brought up one. Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Vijay Prabhu, you have a point to say?
Thank you. Nice.
Okay, at the back then, Mataji.
Maharaj, I've been trying to come to Bhagavatam class for almost quite some time. I always get late. And
better late than never.
Today also same situation. So, what is the synopsis of this class? Can you please?
I think you should listen to the class, the recorded one.
So I have to go home and then listen.
And you don't have time for that, right? No, the synopsis of the class is that we should not offend a Vaishnava, and the devotee is always tolerant, and Krishna always protects his devotees. Krishna doesn't take credit for himself, and he always gives the credit to his spiritual master and to Krishna. Don't commit Vaishnava parad. This is the last thing that we should not do. We cannot afford to do that. The last, you can have seva aparad, dhamma aparad, nama aparad, jiva aparad, but not Vaishnava parad. Vaishnava parad, you can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra since, till the end of Lord Brahma's life. You will never be forgiven. Not possible. Just look at this. Durvasa Muni, he went all over the universe to find refuge. Yeah. So the only way how we can be, those four, it can be nullified, the offenses, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If you commit offenses by chanting the holy name, still chanting the holy name. If you commit offenses while doing archanam, again, this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You go to holy dham, you commit offenses, then, jiva aparad, then you still have to ask forgiveness for that person. So don't think that we should be careful of offending the Vaishnavas. We should be also careful offending others, non-devotees. It's not that you go to Walmart and say, hey, you don't know I'm a devotee. Hey, you don't chant Hare Krishna, I chant Hare Krishna. So yes, you put them down or something. No. Okay. All right. That's anything else, Amataji? Okay. All right.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Thank you for a nice class. My question is, when you just mentioned that sometime in workplace or social gatherings, we see people breaking all four regs, and also in our mind, at least in my mind, I don't ever I judge, and then I also think that I don't feel like praying for them because I get so like mad internally if they are eating like beef or something. And so in that case, I'm thinking, trying to be humble, and then, we don't right away say, like you just mentioned, Maharaj, about Walmart and that I'm devotee or anything, but it's so hard internally to be very humble to them and then pray for them. It just directly, when we see something, it's at least my mental consciousness gets
to correct them.
But internally I feel like, oh my God, I don't want to ever like talk to them, or I feel sometimes that, okay, I'm better because I'm chanting it unconsciously, subtle way, but at the same time I don't feel like praying for them. It's madness. The anger comes, and sometimes that kind of, so it's very hard practically, like maybe the sadhana, my sadhana is...
It is hard, yes.
Thank you.
Very difficult, but it is possible for you to overcome it. If you have a strong sadhana, like Vijay Prabhu, he gets up early in the morning and he finishes almost all of his rounds before Mangalartik. Same thing with us. We get up in Vrindavan, we get up real early. So Grihastas, you also have to get up early for your sadhana. You have to have Mangalartik as well. This is not only for sannyasis or brahmacharis. When you're strong, when you have a strong foundation, our foundation is the holy name, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, having strong sadhana, associating with the devotees, coming to the mandir, not just as visitors. You come to the mandir, this is your mandir, this is your temple. You should ask, Prabhu, is there any service for me? Mataji, is there any service for me? So in this way, you become strong. And it becomes compassion now, instead of like anger. It becomes compassion, it becomes mercy now. You want to help. And you cannot give what if you don't have it. You can only give whatever you have. And through your example, you set a good example, and when they see you in that way, they will ask, hey, how come you're always happy, very tolerant? Then you say, okay, here is the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Okay, we stop here now.
Do we, one more?
Yeah, one more, okay.
If you don't mind. Do we not correct,
no.
friends or anything, nothing,
See,
correction?
You can only correct another person if you have a relationship with him or with her, or if you have a position which is higher, like authority. Like a temple commander can correct anybody here. He can correct me also if I'm wrong. Or the temple president. That is their duty. Prabhupada says manager's duty is to look for mistakes so that we can improve. Yeah, if everything is okay, you can do whatever you like, no problem. Yeah, how are they gonna make progress? Yeah, how are things will be improved? So you can correct your children, but nowadays, Hare Krishna. The children calls their parents, hey Paul, come here. Hey Mary, I'll see you later, okay? Hare Krishna, it's Kali Yuga. You try to tell them to do something, they will say, no, I know better than you. So usually within family, if you want to teach them Krishna consciousness, because it's very difficult, this is always the complaint of the parents to me. How can I have my child to chant? How can I tell my child to read Bhagavad Gita? It's very difficult. Especially the parents nowadays, they don't have time. They don't have time. Because they work. I know one devotee in Abu Dhabi, he's only having one daughter. And he doesn't have time for one daughter. Because he goes to the work, and then in the evening there are some programs, right? Like, let's say, Bhakti Briksha programs. And his main duty is to set up the sound system. So I told him, Prabhuji, if you're not there, you think there'll be no sound? So go, spend your time. And the daughter will say, Pita, you don't have time for me. You don't have time. You see, we have to give time for us and for those who are our loved ones. Now, if you really want to let them be trained up or learn, then you ask somebody else to do it. Your friend. In UAE, they have Bhakti Sastri for children. What? Bhakti Sastri for children? They learn Midangas, they learn. This is in UAE. Their situation is different here. I told them, if you are not here, if you are in India, you will not be as serious in your practice of bhakti. Because over there, you cannot wear dhoti, or you cannot have tilak, or you cannot go harinam, you cannot go distribute books. So they're very serious. So yes, you cannot correct anyone if you don't have a relationship with him. Okay? Yes, last question now.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. This is not a question.
Reflection?
No,
Okay.
Maharaj. Actually, when you coming here reminded us of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, because you always traveled with him whenever he came to ISV. So usually at this time, Maharaj would come. This is our Bhaktivinoda Thakur MSF that happens. And we used to do, Maharaj was so enthusiastic about fundraiser for Bhagavad Gitas.
Yeah.
So I was just bringing those memories back, and your presence here brought all those memories back of Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming here.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
I was traveling with him for 27 years. He trained me a lot. I'm still trying to recollect all of those years. It's not so easy to... Maharaj's memory for all of ISKCON will be there for a long time. For a long time. It's not that it will go away immediately. No way. The magnitude of his contribution in Srila Prabhupada's mission is, I may say, is unparalleled. Of course, all of Prabhupada's disciples, they have their own speciality. Yeah? But it's very difficult to find in one devotee that has everything. I'm not saying it because he's my Guru Maharaj, but no. It is not. It is not like that. It'll be for a long while that we will have in ISKCON such a devotee. One sannyasi, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami, you know him? Yeah? He says, there are many devotees in ISKCON, but there is only one, Gopal Krishna Goswami. Even Mother Daivi Shakti, you know Mother Daivi Shakti? She says, I never met any personality like him. He is the greatest saint that I've ever met in my life. Can you imagine that? Daivi Shakti is she's not a beginner. She's very mature. So, yes, everyone has their own speciality. I'm not going to say because, it's too many of them. Right? Well, His Holiness Radhanath Swami says, after Srila Prabhupada, I never met another personality like Gopal Krishna Goswami as great. Can you imagine that? How he said that? He's not saying it out of sentimentality. Huh? So if we remember him, our Krishna consciousness also grows, increases. I remember I was the MC of the memorial the next day. It was like 6.5 hours of memories from different devotees, all the senior ones. And my Krishna consciousness went, it's like skyrocketed. And there are thousands of devotees. The whole Krishna Balaram Mandir temple room was filled. And they even contained inside. Some of them are listening, and how about the whole world was listening also at that time? It's different. It's different. And he was not telling, all of this, the greatness of his contribution. No. And for me, his main, I was asked, Maharaj, what is the main quality that you've seen from your Guru Maharaj that is the most outstanding? I cannot think of, because there are 26 qualities of a pure devotee is there, right? From Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then I finally said, it is his simplicity. It's very simple. Anyone can approach him. Anyone, anybody. He has time for everyone. Other gurus, forget it. You will never be able to go as close to them as possible. You know Braja Vilas Prabhu? TOVP? Is my best friend also. I have a lot of best friends. He told me, Maharaj, I am closer to your Guru Maharaj than my own Guru Maharaj. Whose disciple will say like that? Huh? I am more closer to your Guru Maharaj than my Guru Maharaj. Because of it's difficult to say. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Sitanath Pramanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardhan Maharaj ki. So we'd like to thank you, Maharaj, for coming to ISV. This is the first time he's without Maharaj, means Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So he's carrying in his heart and spreading the Sankirtan. So there are a couple of programs we have for Maharaj. Tomorrow, as Gopal Krishna Maharaj visits Berkeley Temple every time he goes. Probably is one of this sannyasi goes there, not many. So we'll be celebrating a memorial for Maharaj tomorrow in Berkeley, because I was also traveling. Sadhu Sangha was there, then we had the memorial at ISV, and then we were supposed to do on June 9th, but when I heard Maharaj is coming, so delayed it. So we are doing a memorial. I know Madhava's Kirtan is there, but all of you are most welcome in case you wanted to be in the town area. So it will be 5:30 to 7 p.m. A memorial service will be at ISKCON Berkeley for His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. But in addition to that, Maharaj also has today evening a program in Fremont, as well as Monday evening we have a special program that will be announced maybe virtually or something for Maharaj. And Tuesday he is going back to Boise, Idaho. Thank you very much. I think Raseshwari Mataji is waiting. They are a little late for their kids' performance now. Right, Mataji? Yes. Kids present to the adults. Hare Krishna. Oh.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. So the kids will present here. So.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Like less than 10.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for taking us also into the, first of all, the wonderful topic this morning, and giving us again the wonderful memories of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Personally, for me, he had a huge impact through his disciple Anugraha Mataji, from whom I learned about how much parents can care for the children in their Krishna conscious education. So he will always be a very important remembrance in my life. Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj also encouraged a lot of education for the youth, and so as a dedication to him, we can do this presentation this morning. We do it every Saturday, but especially would like to dedicate this for him in his memory. So Shreya is going to present on the topic from the Bhagavatam, and I would like her to introduce the topic, and because I don't think we want to take too much of your time. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So Hare Krishna. My name is Shreya, and thank you all for being here today. I will be giving you all a short narration from the book Disapproved but Not Disowned by His Grace Gauranga Darshan Das. I think that this story has some valuable lessons that can help all of us. So, one day, there was a hunter, and he approached sage Narada, and he said, "All the animals have fled because of you. O Sadhu, why have you left your general path?" And he asked in frustration. He was like holding arrows, like he was ready to kill all the animals. Narada calmly said, I've came to settle a doubt in my mind. As I was walking here, I saw a dead boar, deer, and rabbit, all half killed, lying on the floor, screaming in pain. Did you kill them or shoot them with your arrows? The hunter, he proudly replied, yes. The hunter, he had a habit of half killing animals and taking pleasure in it. So Narada then asked, but why did you half kill them? Why not completely? Then the hunter said, finally he revealed, my name is Mrigari, the enemy of animals. When my father, he taught me to kill them that way. And when I see half-killed animals screaming in pain, I feel great joy. So this was pretty unusual, but then Narada, he said, I have one thing to beg of you. So he expecting that the sage might need some skins, Mrigari said, "Oh, I have some deer skin, lion skin, tiger skin, any skins you may like." But Narada he said, "Oh, no. I don't need any skins. I request one thing from you, and that is that you don't half kill the animals, but completely." But the hunter found this weird. He asked, "What's wrong with half killing animals?" As you can see, an ignorant and sinful person lacks the discrimination of good and bad, and can't even understand the most obvious faults in his or her acts. The Narada Muni, he had to explain the consequences. He said, "As a hunter, your business is to hunt and kill animals, and you do take little offense in that. But by half killing animals and purposefully giving them unnecessary pain and taking joy in that, you will incur more sins and great sins. Those animals, they will kill you one after another in your future lives." Now, Mrigari was just an ignorant hunter, ignorant of the results of his actions. But by Narada Muni's concern, demeanor, and wise words, he was somewhat convinced of his sinful activities. So, somewhat afraid, he said, "I've been taught to hunt from my very childhood. But how can I be freed from these sinful activities? Please tell me. I seek your guidance and shelter." So Narada Muni, he assured Mrigari. He said, "If you listen to me, I shall tell you a way you can be liberated." Narada Muni immediately ordered Mrigari, "First, break your bow." But breaking his bow would mean to stop hunting. So Mrigari asked, "But if I break my bow, how shall I maintain myself?" Narada Muni then said, "Do not worry. I shall supply you food every day. Go home and go distribute all your wealth to the brahmanas. Then leave your home with your wife and construct a small cottage on the bank of the river. Grow a tulsi plant and water it daily. Then circumambulate it and then chant the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I shall send sufficient food for you both." Then the powerful Narada Muni, as he is, he brought up the half-killed deer, boar, and rabbit all back to their consciousness. All three animals got up and swiftly fled from there. But Mrigari, he was struck with wonder, but he quickly offered obeisances, returned home, and exactly followed the instructions of Narada Muni, his guru. One day, later on, Narada Muni had come to visit Mrigari's home, along with his friend Parvat Muni. Mrigari saw them from a distance and eagerly ran towards them. But he could not immediately bow down because he saw some ants around his feet. Instead of stepping on them, he just cleared them with a cloth and then fell flat down to offer obeisances. The cruel hunter, who was taking pleasure in the seeing of half-killed animals, was now being so careful to not even step on an ant. But this great transformation is due to the mercy of Narada Muni, who not just disapproved of his actions, but also taught him bhakti without disowning him. But Narada Muni said, "This is not at all astonishing. A man in bhakti automatically becomes non-violent." Mrigari then took Narada Muni and Parvat Muni to his home, washed their feet with great devotion, and in the meantime, Parvat Muni told Narada Muni, he said, "Certainly you are a touchstone. By your mercy, a cruel hunter has become attached to Lord Krishna. This is the power of a devotee. Saintly people don't just disapprove of sins, but they try to get the sinner to the right path. And people aren't born corrupt either. Mrigari had been taught from his very childhood to hunt and take pleasure in the seeing of half-killed animals. But as Oscar Wilde says, every saint has a past, but every sinner has a future." So now that we walked through the story, let's focus on some of the key takeaways. The first one would be, a good upbringing helps a person live a good life and be helpful to others. However, poor upbringing can lead to very negative results. This was an example in Mrigari. He had been taught by his own father that you can half-kill animals and you should take pleasure in that. And it did lead to negative results in the start of his life, but we'll be talking about this, but he did get the association of Narada Muni, which is why at the end he did get positive results. Next one could be, one who causes unnecessary pain to any living entity is inevitably punished by the laws of nature. As Narada Muni in the story, he said, he was explaining the consequences to the hunter. He said, since you're a hunter, your business is to kill, but there's little offense in that. But since you caused unnecessary pain and you're feeling the joy in that, you'll inevitably be punished and you'll get more sins. Committing mistakes is common in ignorance, but if one is honest to admit them, humble to seek guidance, patient to rectify them, one can easily overcome them. So we heard Mrigari, he was somewhat afraid, but he said, I've been taught to hunt from my very childhood. How can I be freed? Please help me and I seek your guidance. We may hear this, but in reality, everyone has that stubbornness in them, and it's not easy to really think of it and admit your mistakes. It's not as easy as it sounds. So what Mrigari did here was actually, it turned over his whole life. Last but not least would be, even the most cruel person could become a compassionate person by associating with people of noble character. In the start of the story, Mrigari, he was literally screaming at Narada Muni because he had left his whole path because all the animals had fled away. But at the end of the story, he's literally inviting Narada Muni to his house and he's serving him with devotion. And that is only because of the association and mercy of Narada Muni. So that's all that I have today. Thank you all for your attention and time today. Hare Krishna.
Would you like to say a few words of encouragement, Maharaj?
I think she did a good narration, summarized the whole Leela, how even the most fallen can become a saintly personality by the association of another saintly personality. And yeah, she has a good memory.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Any reflections, comments, or questions from the other?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So, my question is, what is the part in the entire story that touched you?
I personally think it's when he accepted that what he was doing was wrong his whole life. Because I personally think that's not an easy thing to do. Changing your whole life from being a hunter to living on the bank of the river, that's like a whole different thing. Distributing your wealth to the brahmanas, I think that was the hardest part, so that touched me the most.
Okay, the second one.
Yeah.
When you were learning so much in your classes, what is it that, give me one example that you've used it in your everyday life that really helped, this learning, taking it to your classroom?
There's one thing, it's that you should see people with equal vision. So in Vrindavan, we read that we have a kind of speck in our eye, and that we can't see all the holy dhams exactly as it actually is. For example, we see pigs, boars, and all that, but in reality, it's not like that. It's just the speck in our eye. So I kind of apply that sometimes when I see things. I'm like, in India, I'm like, oh, that's so gross. Like, why is there dirt and like dog poop there? But in reality, it's like, it's not like that. It's when it's actually like a spiritual land where Mahaprabhu was and all. So I kind of apply that sometimes when I travel to India.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Tadya Prabhu, and then we'll take Lydia.
So, nice title.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Disapproved, but not
disowned. Yes.
I was reminded of a couple of incidents. where within our movement, the acharyas have disapproved some of the actions of their disciples, but not disowned them. One such example is during time of Srila Prabhupada, one of the disciples, I think he was a temple president or some he has maybe a treasurer, he took away all the money from the temple and he kept it for himself. And the congregation was not happy with that. And they reported to Srila Prabhupada that this person has took away all the money from the temple and he has kept it in his own bank account and he is not giving to the temple or not using it for the purpose in which it is supposed to be used. But even in that case, Srila Prabhupada didn't disown that person, and then he only disapproved it. So I just want to
that's good.
Bring this example. And being a spiritual movement, I think that is the correct thing to do when somebody makes grave mistakes. We may be able to, we can disapprove it, but we cannot disown that person.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for your story. I find it really intriguing to follow you to learn the story. And I think there is something you described in the story which is really deep, and I'm curious about your interpretation of that. You said every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. So can you help me to understand it a little bit deeper?
Yeah, so when it means every saint has a past, it means that every saint had made mistakes in their past times. Like Mrigari, he had made mistakes in his past times, but they have attained that level as a saint now. But Mrigari, he's a sinner right now, but in his future he can attain many things, just like the saint had. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful question. Any other reflections or comments? Okay. So we'll stop it here. Thank you so much, Shreya. That was excellent. Shreya is one of the favorite disciples, or not disciples, students. Because she is so sincere and very realized. I can feel that. So I'm very grateful for your association and your effort that you put to prepare for this. It was not easy because this is a very complex story and a lot of learnings. So there are so many aspects to it. Thank you for bringing them all out. It was a lot of detail, I felt. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you all for your kind encouragement. We will now like to request everyone to please stand up and we can put the mats away. And then I think there's prasadam. So any concluding announcements anyone is doing? Okay. I believe we have Sankirtan and other events today, so please feel free to connect to your, respective devotee counselors about that, and we will see you all tomorrow. And tomorrow the program is at 2:30 p.m. Madhava Prabhu is coming. So, oh yes, let's have prasadam prayers. Yash, you want to lead the prasadam prayers?
Sharira vidyaja jorendriya taheka jive fele vishaya sagore taramadhye jivayati lobhama sudhumati take jita samsare Krishna Varadoya Har
jai. Swasadam adilogai, Seyanamrita pao, Radha Krishna gunagao, Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nithai, Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nithai, Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Swarpa Punya Vatam Rajam Visvashaneva Jayate Sade Sarva Dukhanam Anirasyopa Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Buddhi Paryapushtati Tvayopa Bhukta Shraddhanda Vasulankara Chachita Uchishta Bhojina Dasas Tavanayam Gaemahi Shushkam Parvishitam Vapi Nittam Vaduradeshata Prapti Matrena Bhoktavyam Natmakala Vicharana Na Desha Niyamastatra Na Kala Niyamastatha Praptam Mannarutu Shrishte Bhoktavyam Hariraprave Shri Shri Mahaprashadam Ki Jai. Please come take the